This is the Big Cat Long Beach Cruiser. It's probably my favorite Big Cat electric bike of the whole line. I just think it's kind of refined. It frees up the rack in the back. It's got this nice balanced centrally located battery, chain guard, and a basket, and these cool lights. It's a neat bike, and especially for about $1,000, you get a fair amount of features. What you don't get is a fancy, LCD display telling you how fast you're going or how far you've gone, that kind of thing. You don't get different levels of pedal assist, fancier features like that. But you do get the lights. You get a little horn. You get brake levers that cut off the power to the motor when you're riding. And these cool tires that are, actually, they add a lot of cush when you're riding. These are standard 26-inch rims. I guess I shouldn't say standard. They're a little bit wider, right? And so are the tires. And they've got these bigger knobs and stuff. So if you're going over potholes or maybe you're doing a little bit of off-road riding, they're going to smooth things out. And it's got a suspension fork. Very basic. There's no lockout. There's no rebound adjustment. But it does give you a little bit of extra travel that smooths out the ride. And frankly, the upright position of this thing, if you look at it, the handlebars are swept back like that and they're up, and the seat, it positions you so your head would be, looking out for traffic or whatever, or looking down on the cute kittens that are riding along in your little basket. Love it. So the neat thing about any sort of step through like this is that it's going to make it easier to get on like that. You just step right over versus trying to swing your leg around the back. And this rack is pretty functional. It's welded right onto the frame. The tubing is maybe a little bit larger than standard, so it might not work with clip-on panniers, but there are all kinds of little baskets, bags, and ones that fold over both sides. Basil makes some panniers like that would go down here, and this bar will keep them from getting into the spokes. So that's cool. Let me hit some of the drive specs here. This is a 350 watt geared rear hub motor. It's real small and compact and lightweight, and it freewheels, which is very nice. So it's not going to drag, but it also offers a bit of torque because it is geared. It's not super silent, but when we get on later, you can kind of see how that sounds. The battery pack here uses lithium-ion cells, which are higher quality. They're going to get more charge cycles before they eventually wear out. And it's a 36-volt, 8-amp-hour design. And it's removable, so you can actually use the quick release on the seat and then pull this thing off, and it'll make the bike a lot lighter to transport. And you can also charge this inside, keep it away from extreme temperatures, and help it last longer that way. You do have to leave the key in when riding, which is a little bit annoying because it can kind of flop around, but it's not the only bike that has that going on. In terms of riding the bike, you've got these brake levers. I mentioned before they cut off power to the motor when you pull them with this extra wire. The wires are integrated through the frame, and it's got these nice 160 millimeter mechanical disc brakes. They're by Zoom or whatever. It's generic stuff, but we're talking about a $1,000 electric bike, so that's really the focus. This is the controller unit that receives all the signals and stuff and manages the battery. And I think they've done a pretty good job mounting it right here. It doesn't really get in the way, but it is separate. Some fancier designs, they build the controller into the motor or they put it in the battery pack. This isn't too bad. And, again, the wires and stuff stay out of the way. When you're riding it, depending on what you've got back here, this could kind of act as a fender. But I like that they've got a chain guard right here, so your pants aren't going to get all up in the chain and get messy and greasy and stuff like that. Here's the derailleur, Shimano tourney in the rear. There's the 7 different speeds. So you could pedal this just like a normal bike, and of course you're going to get increased range if you do. Pedal assist is active at all times. So as soon as you turn the key to on and you start pedaling, the bike's going to sense that and it's going to kick in the motor. It uses a basic sensor. It's just like a 5 magnet pedal X sensor, and that can feel a little bit jerky if you're not used to it, but actually with only one setting on this bike, I found it to be fairly smooth. It gets the job done, and at any time you can use the throttle. Of course, the throttle is going to use more energy because you're not helping, and so if you notice that the battery's starting to get low, going from green to yellow or red, I recommend just pedaling or maybe turning the system off and using the gears for a while, that kind of thing. This is a heavier bike. It's like an upper 60-pound range. It's like 68 pounds. But having the battery and everything low and in center like that helps for balance. And again, compared to their other bikes with the rear pack, I kind of prefer this. I think that's kind of it, you know, give you a quick tour of this thing. And the kickstand's nice because it balances it like that right in the middle. It lets you load up your cargo basket if you need to. Soft seat, kind of sprung. Metal pedals are nice. These can be a little bit slippery if they get wet, the rubber, so keep that in mind. There we go. I'm gonna do a motor test real quick with you and just throttle it here. Top speed on this bike is 20 miles per hour. Putting those disc brakes to work there. Not too bad. There's the basket. This is pedal assist right now, so it's a little smoother. There we go. Oh, got UPS. There's the gears. That's how it's all set up. So that's the Big Cat Long Beach Cruiser. For the full write-up on this, including pictures and comments, I'll see you back at ElectricBikeReview.com.